Yo, random video review. Tom Fiddzy here, and I've just finished watching The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3, Chapter 11, and it was a big smile episode. I'm still smiling from it. Fantastic episode. Because I haven't talked about it at all on this channel, very quickly, I love The Mandalorian. I love how it gets into like the lore of the Star Wars universe. I love that it's more like grounded, small scale, but with hints, with elements of the big stuff, which is what we get in this episode as well. And it was fantastic for the lore too. In regards to series 2, the first episode I thought was fantastic. I love the stuff with the Crate Dragon. I love the stuff with Cobb Vamp, which again, getting into the expanded lore of the Star Wars universe. You know, this series, if you've been paying attention to the new canon, it really rewards you. But as well, for new viewers, from what I've seen, it's really easy to get into. I think maybe this episode might be a little bit more confusing for people that haven't been following the Clone Wars and Rebels or know anything about like the novels and stuff. But for people that have been following, this was like a goldmine episode. I cannot wait to watch Star Wars Explains review after this. There were so many reveals, but I'm getting off track. Let me talk about episode 1 of series 2 quickly. Yeah, so the Crate Dragon episode, I loved that one. The second episode I thought was a little bit slower and not as interesting because we just went from the Crate Dragon episode, which was like fighting this big monster, and then we went to the next episode where he was fighting what I know in the expanded universe as the knobby white spiders. I think they're called like Kraken or something like that in the new canon, but the spider things from the Ruff McQuarrie artwork. So again, it was like he's fighting another creature of the week. It was 2 in a row of just killing a giant monster. Star Wars does not promote um, animal safety very well. If you're a big creature in the Star Wars universe, you're going to get killed. If you haven't, go watch Mr. Sunday Movies video about that. It's really funny, and it is a good point. It's something that I've been thinking about recently. All of the big creatures, all of the apex predators just get killed. Even this week, there was a little monster, and that got killed as well, but thankfully it wasn't a monster fight episode. This was a good fight against the Empire, and it had Mandalorian. So let's talk about this episode, the big smile episode. Like I say, I was smiling the second we landed on that planet and the ship fell into the water and we just saw that Mon Calamarian. The second I saw that Mon Calamarian, I was smiling. It was cool to see that big, like all-terrain crane walker as well. That was really cool. That felt very Star Wars. And I just loved how the harbour, we had Quarren, we had Mon Calamari. It was just people in costumes. It's so good to just see people in costumes, even if sometimes they look a little bit stiff and, you know, their hands don't quite look like they can pick stuff up very well. It's really good to see. It makes it feel very Star Wars. I'm glad it's not just like loads of humans in the background. And recognizable things, familiar things, where if you know a lot, like I say, about Star Wars lore, you're getting them smiles from it. I was smiling when I heard the Mon Calamari speak, and then we get into the Mandalorian stuff. We see them, we see their helmet. Straight away we saw that helmet, I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. She takes off that helmet. I am Bo-Katan. That moment, straight away, I was like, I'm going straight onto Star Wars Explained after I've recorded this because I cannot wait to hear his reaction. I was massively smiling. I was looking at the other one. I was like, who's that? Could it be Sabine? Could it be Sabine? But no. That is going to come because we get the Ahsoka name drop as well at the end. So no doubt Sabine is going to turn up, and we got that hype. Even though we kind of knew from rumours Ahsoka Tano is coming, the action was good in this episode, the lore stuff was good. It was great seeing the Imperials in here and seeing like a slightly different, slightly more desperate and ruthless side to the Imperials as well. That was really cool. I love how they're kind of giving them a lot more character. Even like the Stormtroopers, like, what door? Like little bits of character, and you can see that they're, as we saw with the Scout Troopers in the previous series, they're a little bit less serious, and it does play for some good laughs, but it also kind of shows that the Empire's falling apart. It's not the Empire that everybody grew up with in the original trilogy. So that was really cool. And then, yeah, that tease at the end going into Ahsoka Tano. I don't think that's going to come straight away. I can imagine that we're going to go exploring a little bit before we get there, and eventually maybe come back to that Bo-Katan stuff, because obviously that's connected to the Darksaber. I was a little bit worried with the announcements that we're going to get Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, maybe Rex, Ahsoka Tano. That is just going to become very much a Rebels, Clone Wars continuation, and The Mandalorian isn't going to be its own thing. But I'm happy to see here that Bo-Katan's now going off to do her own thing with the Mandalorians, and The Mandalorian can still continue as its own show. So that Clone Wars and Rebels stuff is still going on, but it's in the background. maybe you can get that in like future series, future content, but it's really it's really good. It's really satisfying to know that we're not going to distract. It's not just going to become a completely different show. It's still very much Mandalorian trying to get the child Baby Yoda. And speaking of the child Baby Yoda, to the Jedi, obviously I should have finished that point. Yeah, speaking of the child, great moments in that. I like that the child had a little bit of development, you know, it saw the egg hatch and then was just playing with it. I was constantly in that scene thinking, are they going to like turn around and look in the bowl and the little tadpole's gone? I thought that would have been quite funny. But no, it shows the development. It's, you know, the child is learning. And that was probably a really good environment for the child to be in. And it's just nice to see it with a family, not just constantly witnessing people getting killed in quite brutal ways. So it's learning about life. It's learning about family. So that was a good thing. It could come back as well in the future. So good development for the child. And I think the gif of this episode was the child in the kaleidoscope in like the little starfish monster's eyes. That was really cool as well. So yeah, I'm still smiling. Fantastic episode. Probably my favorite one of the series. Even though it was short, it was quite a short episode, like 30 minutes, once you have all of the end credits and everything out of the way. It is weird that the episodes of The Mandalorian are just all over the place in terms of length. Kind of makes it like a YouTube video, you know? Not having a set time, but the production value in this is so good that I don't care. They could be 10 minutes long and I will still be enjoying it if they're that good. So yeah, fantastic episode. I don't know, ranking wise, I don't know how I would rank it. If I go by my old Higasin channel, I used to do like loot tiers as kind of how I would rank it. So if this was loot, I'd probably say it was like a good high-end purple tier piece of loot. Good episode. This smile isn't going to go away for a while because now I'm going to go watch Star Wars Explained. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And what do you think of The Mandalorian overall? What are your hypes for Ahsoka Tano coming back, and what else do you want to see, as well as the Darksaber stuff? And what was your favourite Baby Yoda, the child moment? What is going to be the gift that you're going to be sending for the next week after watching this episode? Thanks for tuning in. This is my first kind of review on this channel, in this like just talking into my phone, still kind of getting used to it, still trying to get over these nerves a little bit, just trying to get my thoughts. This was literally my reaction of, I've watched it, I picked up my phone and I recorded this. So thank you. If you liked it, like and subscribe. More of this stuff will be coming on this channel. Speak to you later. Bye.